Nicole, how do you survive homelessness in Hollywood? You're living right here on the sidewalk.
We have to move every couple of days. If we don't, we get robbed. I've had a lot of things happen to me just on the sidewalk here in Hollywood. I was picked up, taken to a hotel where I paid for the hotel and somebody else used their ID to get me in. And later that backfired because the person's friend, who was the driver, came back and sexually misconducted himself on my body with me unconscious, and he drugged me. He stuck a needle in me. The state picked up charges.
Oh my gosh.
So you would think that would warrant witness protection or something, but you know, I didn't even get a free night's stay out of it, or even a bed in the hospital. I didn't even opt to go to the hospital. I asked him what I had to do, and he said nothing. We've got it from here. State's picking up charges, and I haven't stayed in a hotel since.
Well, the streets are horrible. I mean, for
the streets
anybody,
are way worse. I cry almost every night. I don't think it's fair. I heard a man named Mr. Well, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to blow anybody up out there. But he called in and he said, "Look, I know you've got female beds available. It's not that they don't have the beds available. It's that they don't want to take me because I have service animals, and some people are just shady about animals. They don't like animals." So now I'm stuck out here still because I have service animals and I'm handicapped. My right hand doesn't close all the way. My mental health isn't always that great. I have scars on the side of my head. Although I'm able to seem somewhat normal functioning, I don't do well outdoors. I've always been an introvert. They've always tried to get me to talk to people, so I do that now. But I don't know the difference between a good guy or a bad guy till somebody hurts me, you know, and I can't fix that. I can't fix that. I don't know how to.
The difference between a good guy or a bad guy until somebody hurts you.
Right, pretty much, because everybody seems nice until they're ready to do something to you
and you gotta
or
trust
against
people
you.
To survive.
Pretty much because they cluster us together. They're not letting us have certain places, like they're pushing us to certain streets. They're pushing us to certain zones and areas. It's like the red area you see down here on the sidewalk. Those are the areas we're allowed to put up camp next to, and we have to stay on this side of the stars.
Well, when you say pushing, you mean?
I mean they're coming through and sweeping, and if we don't clean up and don't do as we're told, they take every bit of our belongings and throw them away. And that's illegal, but several times. I literally got up one day and crossed the street, went into the store, got something to eat and a cup of coffee, and come back out and cross the street, and one of the guards stopped me and said, "Was that your tent over there?" Because the city just stopped and picked it all up and threw it away. And they circled 3 times that morning, and I was in my tent. They waited for me to be out of my tent to take it. And I'd only had that tent 12 hours. It was given to me by the city. It was part of what they were funded to give the homeless. So I never even got to keep my tent. And it was a nice one. It was a 6-man blackout tent.
How does it feel losing everything?
It sucks, and then you have people out here sometimes kicking you around, like saying, "Get a job," or they throw stuff at you and say, "Quit spending my money," or "You're living on my dime. You should be doing whatever the fuck I tell you to do." You hear a lot of that, you know, and people throw things at. I've had bottles of urine thrown at me. I mean, it's not, and I have family. It's just that they don't take this whole situation seriously. They don't understand that those of us who are out here aren't out here because we've done something wrong or we're doing something wrong. My family has been estranged from me for more than 15 years. So when I call them for help, they're like, "Well, Nikki, why are you homeless? Are you doing drugs?" I'm like, "Are you serious? Do you know what the fuck's going on in the world?" You know, and it seems as though that they're keeping the general public oblivious to what's going on. And meanwhile, through COVID, anyone of lower income or poverty level, they threw out. I've never been evicted legally. They can look me up. I'm 44. I've never had a legal eviction notice.
So, Nicole.
And I've always paid my rent.
You're disabled. You have the walkers behind me. You got service animals. You don't have ID, you said. Which makes it extreme. You said you have some mental illness. It's heartbreaking that you're still out here.
I was buying a home until my parents died. They both died through COVID. My mother in 2018 and my father in 2020. In the attempt to make it to my father before he passed, I gave up my home. The last one, I gave it up. I was buying it, I gave it up because I was either make my payment on my home or make it to my dad per request. My dad called me and let us know. He died 3 days after he got out of Guthrie Hospital. I didn't make it. They wouldn't let me see him because of COVID. We got there, but they wouldn't. The hospital wouldn't let us in. Me and my brother. My brother drove 1,800 miles round trip from. Richard drove all the way from Las Cruces, New Mexico, all the way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to pick me up, to take me all the way to Corning, New York, so that we could go just outside of Corning to Guthrie Hospital, to where my father was before he passed. And they wouldn't let us see him. They said if he was really dying, they'd let us see him, and then they discharged. We left and went all the way back to New Mexico, where I'd have to move in with my brother because I forfeited my money for the trip. So I didn't have money to pay rent, so I couldn't, pay my and I.
How do you
my
survive
house is
out here?
gone.
Are you getting disability?
It's hard. I do get some disability. Unfortunately, everything I buy is stolen within a week. And I only buy the things that I need. Like right now, I need a 10. My door literally didn't shut. The screen had holes this big in it. If they can't steal it, if you find a way to anchor it down where they can't steal it, they'll destroy it. I mean, they attack the women out here. Unless you're a prostitute or a gang member or a well-known drug addict who can not only get drugs and deliver them, but always has a readily supply.
I was out here for a long time.
If you're a girl.
Everybody has game out here.
Right.
And it's not just homeless, it's
house
people and gang members.
You're right.
Like
There's house people.
Everybody's
There's
running the
even
game.
landlords sending some of their tenants to collect our things that are nice to furnish their homes with, so that they can rent them at a higher price as a furnished apartment.
But they're
So
great,
it's very greedy. It's like a cutthroat world, and we're living on the bottom. The trucks come by and the sweepers, and I think, my God, do they have so little disregard for human life that they just do it. We're ordered to by law. We don't have a choice. If we get too close to the buildings, we can go to jail.
So you stay on this side of the
They
sidewalk.
treat us like we're filthy rodents and roaches, and they make us stay to the edge of the road.
So you're staying this close to the road
while they keep that area clean for the tourists.
That actually, when you first said that, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense because I know front of the doorways and
We're to be
different
over
things.
here where the dogs pee and the dirt flies back and forth while they get the doorways and they get any form of shelter. Not really. They stop by and check. They used to bring food daily, but they said their daily rations were cut down, and they for a while they were handing out food with mold on it. We weren't too happy with that. We got sandwiches one day that were moldy, and they're in the sealed package, and they're in a package inside of a package in a little tray. You get a little Kaiser bun with a piece of bologna or a piece of salami. You get a bottle of water this big and an apple. And they started giving us the moldy ones, and come to find out these people were supposed to be handing them out, and they were leaving them in their trunk for up to 2 weeks before they even handed them out. And now they're coming by, the Circle people are, and telling us that for some reason they were told that they had to cut back on the amount of food that they give out. So now we're lucky to get 1 or 2 meals a week from them instead of a meal to 2 meals a day. I don't understand it, but
So night's coming. You stay right here?
there's nothing I can do. There's nowhere I can go. If I go anywhere else, if I end up in a group of tents, I'm in trouble. Most of them are on drugs, and the girls that they want that won't put out, they grab them anyway. So it's very difficult. The best we can do is hope to have a charge on our cell phone, pepper spray, and a knife or a taser, and pray to God we don't have to use them.
You should be in housing.
I should be being disabled. I'm one of the #1 targets on the list of people who are targeted for trafficking. They target disabled, whether it's mental or physical. Elderly are also targeted. May I bum a cigarette, sir? God bless you. I hope you have a blessed day and you and your family enjoy your stay here. And it all, well, honestly, it all boils down to addition or subtraction. If you take away from the economy and you take away from the people, and people aren't attracted enough to want to come here to see you, they're ultimately gonna, do something, because everything's imported and exported on the coast. So we do the best we can to put on a smile every day and try to greet people and tell people, we appreciate our blessings and that we love them, and that every person who donates or helps us through this hard time, we call them our angels and we pray for them at night and hope that their families and them are safe. And we just look at it like, I try to look at it like God put me out here because I'm strong enough to make it. Where there are a lot of other people, if they were put out here in the same situation, they wouldn't have made it 2 weeks.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
To be in a house that I know I don't ever have to leave, and my dogs be safe with me. To have reliable transportation, and to have an open line of communication always where I could contact any family members or anybody that I needed to whenever I needed to.
A house, a ride, and a phone.
Pretty much. I mean, those things right there would be enough to make us happy. I don't see much more that we need.
Well, thank you very much for talking.
Yeah. Maybe a new set of lungs. I don't think that I'll get those, though. It's just hard. We try to keep the faith. There are days we don't want to get up. There are days I don't want to get up. I look at them and they're my saving grace. They're the reason I have to get up. I sit back and I go, my God, what kind of world do I live in where they're doing this to people?